Welcome to the Wisdom Refuge channel. At the end of the video, we will have a reflection on the moral of the story with 2 inspiring quotes for your life. I ask that you go to the end of the video and find out what those quotes are. Now, let's get to the story. A long time ago, an old wise man arrived in a distant village. He always walked accompanied by an eagle. It was a strange pair, since these birds were not very adept at human beings. However, the old man and the eagle were always seen together everywhere. The inhabitants commented that that man was extremely wise. They even said that he was famous throughout the region for his great and wise teachings. However, the wise man was very humble, and so he stayed with his faithful companion, the eagle, in an old and abandoned barn. And with that, people began to feel curious. They approached to look from afar, but he did not even see them. Only the bird remained attentive. Soon, the inhabitants of that place began to bring food and offer shelter because they were very unprotected. The wise man and the eagle thanked those who helped them. Once at dusk, a peasant approached the place where the wise man and the eagle rested, and he shook the wise man to wake him up. Soon he turned around and asked the visitor if he could help him with something. The peasant stood in front of the wise man and confessed that he had a question. They told him that he was a very wise man and wanted to know if he could answer it. The wise man then replied, "No one is so wise as to answer everything, but if I can help you, I will." This impetuous peasant told him that he wanted to know how to open the gates of heaven and how to close the gates of hell. After all, he wanted to have access to heaven but never go to hell. And so he needed to know how the gates opened to avoid this. The wise man and the eagle remained attentive, and when the peasant finished speaking, the wise man told him what a silly question it is possible to see that you are a completely ignorant man. Upon hearing this, the peasant became furious and wanted to hit the old wise man, but the eagle prevented this, and it was then that the peasant saw that the wise man was blind, and the eagle was his guide. He felt immense shame for having wanted to attack him, and his anger dissipated. He only felt compassion for that helpless old man. He asked for forgiveness then. That old wise man told him, "Anger opened you the gates of hell, but compassion opened you the gates of heaven." Think about how many times we let anger guide us and lose great opportunities in life. This wise man lived most of the time alone, just him, the eagle, and a calm plenitude. What an incredible story, isn't it? It shows us the importance of controlling our emotions and seeking compassion instead of anger. This story reminds me of 2 quotes. The first is the wise quote from Master Aristotle, who says, "Happiness is a state of activity." That is, we need to act with love, compassion, and empathy to achieve true happiness in our lives. And of course, it also reminds me of Margaret Lee Runbeck, who says, "Happiness is not a station you arrive, but a manner of traveling and thinking well she is right." After all, happiness is a continuous process and not a final destination. That is, we depend only on ourselves. We do not depend on friends, things, or money, only on how we face life and everything it imposes on us. Just like the wise man in the story who lives in calm plenitude, only accompanied by the eagle, we can find happiness by focusing on ourselves and our own journeys. So, did you like the story? If so, don't forget to leave your like, share with friends, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any inspiring content like this. Activate the notification bell and be happy.